Savannah Shea is a Kingston-based singer, songwriter, and visual artist who regularly performs at local venues. She received the Creator Award for her musical talent and creativity from the Mayor's Arts Awards in 2023. Savannah frequently collaborates with other artists on projects. Her recent album release party featured Savannah's musician friends playing her new songs. Savannah is here to tell us about her music and her upcoming shows. Welcome, Savannah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank
Good.
you. I'm excited to have you here because I enjoy music so much. You are a local raised Kingstonian.
Yes.
Who has been involved in music for how long?
Working professionally for 9 years now. I can say that now that it's 2025, officially 9 years. But music my whole life, since very young, yeah.
So when did you start singing and thinking about music? What age?
I have a lot of memories of singing as a very, very young person. My family would all go to church together, and like all my cousins would be there, and we'd all sing in church together. So I was singing, and there was lots of like family gatherings with music and that kind of thing. And then I started taking piano lessons and sort of started like singing songs that I liked on the piano. And so it was just a very natural growth. I had an amazing music teacher in grade 3 at R.G. Sinclair Public School in Kingston, Mrs. Fisher, and she was a big music person, and so she led the musicals and she did the school choir, and so there was a lot of music in my school as well. So it's kind of always been there. In terms of thinking about doing it professionally, that took a lot longer. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, that's a job, I can do that. I sort of thought, no, that's not for me. So I sort of took me a little bit of a winding path to finally decide to be a musician.
And because you took that winding path, what did you end up with?
Well, I think the winding path gave me some good clarity that this is really what I want to do, because I tried a couple other things first. I went into a couple different university programs. At one point I did music therapy for a year at Acadia, and sort of through that program and through some good coaching from good teachers, they were like, you probably should just go into performance. Like, you seem like a person who wants to perform.
And so are you a music teacher now?
I am a music teacher now, but everything is kind of combined. I have a life that's very varied. So I would say that mainly I'm a performer. Music teaching is something I love to do, and I use that to supplement my income. I also work at a couple vintage stores. My weeks are very, very different. Every day is different. But the main sort of musical part of my life is performing and teaching, yeah.
So who influenced you the most in the music world for you to move forward?
Yeah, well, personally, I would say my parents both, like, they're not professionally, like, they're not the musicians in the world, but like my parents played a lot of music around the house. My dad played guitar, my brother played guitar. I had an Uncle Tim, who was super cool, and he always played guitar around the campfire, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So a lot of like older cousins and family members. And then personally, I love Adele. She's one of my favorite singers. I love Amy Winehouse. I love Eva Cassidy. And then as I got older, I got a bit more into jazz and like Ella Fitzgerald. Diana Krall was really big for me as a kid. My dad played a lot of Diana Krall around the house. Aretha Franklin.
What do you play besides guitar? Because I understand you have an interest in a few things.
Yeah, so I play guitar and I play piano as well. And I do love when I just get the opportunity to sing too, if I get to play with other people. But that's sort of the 3 things. And then I do a bit of mouth trumpet, which maybe you'll see later.
If I was to find you
Yes.
and listen to you, who are your followers? Who follows you along, age-wise?
Age-wise, that's a good question. I think it varies. I have a group of regulars that come and see me play weekly at Musiki Cafe on Sundays, and their age range from like my age to, I don't want to insult anybody, I don't know how old, but like, seniors, I would say. And then everyone in between. I've had kids at my show. I hope that what I do is pretty like open to be received by whoever. I think it's all over the map.
So in 2023, you received the Creator Award from the Mayor.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you?
So that's such a good question. It meant so much to me. I remember when I received the email, I like burst into tears because I love Kingston so much. Just growing up here and then like becoming an adult here and like going through my youth here, and there's just been so much beauty in the city, and it's supported me so beautifully. And so just to be recognized by a city that I love so much and by the community, it felt very cool to like do something that is recognized, because sometimes you kind of just feel like you're hitting your head at the wall making art and who knows if anyone sees it. And so to get that, it was very meaningful. And then of course, like there's a monetary prize with it as well, which was really helpful for me. Like I could put that towards future creative projects, and that's really meaningful. So it meant a lot. And the people I won it alongside were like incredible artists. So it was just an honor all around.
Let's talk a little bit about that community connection.
Yeah.
And how you feel about Kingston and the musical community.
Yeah, I feel so good about it. I just had, on January 4th, I just had an album release show, and it ended up being one of the biggest shows. I've never played for so many people. It was at Next Church, which is an amazing venue for musicians to rent out. It's really affordable and a beautiful space. And just people from all different parts of my life came, and the church was packed and people were standing, and it was just really cozy and everyone was singing along. And I like cried so much because I was just so grateful to be a part of this community. And at one point I played a song about feeling unrooted and whether to root somewhere or to be unrooted. And I just sort of cried a little bit and said, I'm so grateful that I rooted here in Kingston, because like this is what you get out of that. You get people from all areas of life, with different expertise and different things to offer, and you get to all just be together, and it was beautiful. So
you talk about an album release. So
yes.
What is the name of the album that you just released?
Yeah, so the album it's technically like a project, because it's actually 3 albums. So the project is called A Living Dream, and under that heading there's 3 albums called like a love album, a heartbreak album, and a wonder album. They each have 13 songs. And it's basically a catalog of the songs I've been writing over the last 8 years that have survived. So I write a lot of songs, and these are sort of the ones that I really love and stand by. And I've always wanted to group my music into sort of thematic sections. And yeah, so it's the 3 albums. They're all on Spotify and all the places you want to get music. And if you go listen to them and you like them, you can buy them on Bandcamp.
You mentioned you're a visual artist.
I did.
Tell me what that means.
Yeah, I've always done creative, like visual arts, painting, crafting, drawing, that kind of stuff. And within the last couple of years, I've really honed in on a technique of painting that I've enjoyed. It's something I learned in high school from my high school art teacher, Pat McDermott. It's just blind contour drawing, which is sort of this beginner technique where you just look ahead and you don't look at the page, and you draw and you don't take your pen off the paper. And I've sort of taken that and then used it to create really interesting abstract portraits. I sell my work at Montreal Street Collective, which is on Montreal Street, and it's an awesome vintage store. And I also sell my art as merch. My merch has like my art on it and stickers and that kind of stuff. So it's cool to merge those 2 worlds together.
Tell us where you're going to be next,
okay,
so we can hear you.
I play every Sunday from 4:30 to 6:30 at Musique Cafe. I am playing the 4th Saturday of every month at the McKinnon Brothers Tap Room from 1 to 4. On February 13th, I'll be at the Cove in Westport from 5 to 8. On February 22nd, I'll be at the Big Fat Horn Band at the RCHA. And then there's more going ahead. I'll be doing a songwriting workshop March 6th at CFRC. And I'll stop there. There's a lot, but I'll stop there.
So I understand you're going to play something for us.
Yes, I am going to play a song.
So we're going to get you set up.
Perfect. Thank you. This is a song called In Your Company, and it's off of the Heartbreak album from A Living Dream, my most recent release. I'm tired and in love with you, just like I've always been. There's nothing new. I tried to deny it. I tried to fight it. I tried to hide from myself inside. But there's no use. From the first day, I learned to push those feelings away. And over the years, I've had my share of living free. But every time you come back into my view, everything comes back
brand new. Ooh, well, I don't know if we could make it last, but I'd rather be here with you now than be somewhere in your past. If I lost you again, I would make it through, but it would hurt like hell learning to love someone new. Being close feels like a home to me. I've never lost myself in your company. You might not love me the way that I love you, but I hope you find somebody that you do.